Okay, everybody, I am honored to make this video for the Discord today. I have been talking with Mr. and Mrs. Mo for the last 2 days roughly about the Earner Plus tier. So we have the Learner, which is our entry level. You get, some great stuff with the Discord, mostly educational pieces, but you don't get the options and some of the bots. Earner tier, you get everything in the Discord up until now. At this point, the Earner Plus, I believe is what he's going to call it, Earner Plus level tier. Either way, it's the third one, a brand new one, and it is going to have everything in the Discord except two amazing features. One is going to be an inner circle, per se, chat of those that are just going to be in the top tier so that they can kind of gauge some of their questions, answers, and helping themselves with educational parts with the second part I'm going to tell you here in a second. And that chat's going to be separate. That will be for the Earner Plus tier. Now, the second part, the best part, the reason why we're making this video entirely is because you now will have access to Mo's famed bread recipe. You will have access to basically input those platforms, those templates into your TradingView so that when you log into your TradingView, you will see what Mo has been seeing when he does the live trading. So for the learners, you wouldn't know this because that's part of the earner tier. Live trading happens usually twice a week where Mo will be on live and you can follow him, learn from him, copy if you so dare choose. He moves quickly and the market moves fast, but it's great to learn from. What you saw him do on those live trainings, those live tradings, you will now have access to as well. Now, it's not a copy service, don't get me wrong. You're not going to, what he does won't copy to you, but it will be the same exact format for your charts. So let's get into it. I need to turn on my TradingView viewing point. Here we go. All right. So it's after hours. So market's not live, and so obviously nothing's going to move. Now, this is not a static picture. This is, well, if I move that, but this is actually TradingView. So Tesla, I actually ran this today, so I figured I would use the play that I did this morning, overlay it onto the bread bot and see how I did. And obviously I made about 60% profit at $123. And I will walk through real quickly what I did and use his recipe. So let's quickly break this down. So right here, you'll see once you go to your indicators and you get your private, they're going to send it to you. You'll get a private script. You'll upload it into your TradingView. It'll pop in just like you see here, except not with the box. I added that. Everything that he sees. So you have the EMA, RSI bullish points. You'll have the same thing for bearish. Small triangles and large triangles. I'm not triangles. What is that? Diamond? Sorry, triangle. It's late. Forgive me. The diamond. Small would mean a smaller movement is suggested, and larger would mean a larger movement is suggested. So these would be smaller bearish movements and then a larger bullish movement, which obviously it did. Let's zoom in really quick to what happened today so we can get a better view of what's going on and how the breadbot worked, even though I didn't have it at the time. So this is overnight. We opened right here, 7:30 is Mountain Time. So we opened up right here, and RSIOS, that's oversold, white X. The white X's will indicate an RSI alert. So whether it be OB or OS, OB overbought. So in this point, the RSI was oversold, and it hinted, hey, we might have a reversal here. And as we played out, we did. And then right here, a little hard to see, 5 with an arrow, 13. That means the 5 is crossing the 13 EMA, gives you another alert of EMA RSI bullishness. And at this point, this purple line is actually an orb line that I drew, orb opening range breakout. Forgive the noise. If you hear that from the microphone, there's some banging upstairs, run around upstairs. So I drew the orb line here. And don't forget, the orb and the big box was before I had the recipe. So I drew the orb line here. I wait for confirmation. If you drop to a 3-minute chart, you'll see the confirmation candle there. I don't want to mess with this. I want to show you really quickly here. So it confirmed, and I opened a call on this candle. So I opened a call right in here. Now for a little while, it was red, but I held on to it. It still looked good, and it ran all the way up here. And at the double top right at this point, I sold it. And if we move over, we can see that it had a longer time frame, true double top on Tesla today. And then it dropped right back down to basically break even at that point if I had held that call. But I sold it here for a 60% gain at $123 profit. Now, back to the recipe. Why is this so much better than trying to simply follow some EMAs, Bollinger Bands, and candle by itself? Well, if I had this as of this morning, I would have already seen at opening. There's a potential here that it's going to reverse bullish. I would have been more ready for this cross, the 5 to cross the 13, and especially the 13 to cross the 50. Once you have the 13 crossing the 50, it's pretty much game on after that next confirmation candle, which is right here. It confirmed above inside this candle wick here to here. It confirmed above inside that, and so it ran. And if I had had the recipe this morning, I wouldn't have had to use orb, to be honest, because this already kind of cheats the system, right? It's already giving you alerts all along the way multiple times. We have the Bollinger Bands, we have the RSI oversold, we have the EMA crosses, and it even tells you bullish right here. If we zoom out here, Bollinger Band oversold. It means it broke down. Now this was after hours. It doesn't really count. Let's go over here to ones from before. Look at this. Okay, this is during the day, midday, EMA, RSI bearish, 5 underneath the 13, and it crashed. We had a larger diamond, not triangle, larger diamond of red bearish, and boop, it kept going. So if you had the recipe, you'd see right there, as these EMAs crossed, it's going to alert you. 5's crossing the 13, wake up, and then you can open a put right there. And at least you could have run it to the 50. Now, could it have bounced off the 50? Sure, but it didn't. And it would have warned you the 13's crossed the 50. It's giving you the big triangle, oh my gosh, the big square. And there we go again, another cascading fall. White X, OSI is oversold. That's where it's starting to flatten out. And pretty much, yeah, it dipped it overnight. And it dipped a bit more from here. And then we had the bullish move today. So this recipe, this bread bot recipe, as Mo calls it, would have saved you either to exit a call or enter a put, that kind of thing, potentially before that big red candle or a big green candle if you're in a put and you're thinking it's going to drop farther. Because, I mean, to be honest, if you were to ignore all of the green here and just look at these two candles, you could easily predict or think that this is going to keep dropping down. We already had a drop from the day before to the opening point today. Why wouldn't it drop farther? So without having the bread bot, you're guessing. Now, granted, you can use MACD, you use RSI, you use different time frames. You should use the prior lows from the day before. There's things you can do, of course. Volume, but the recipe kind of lets you relax and not make you have to go and do all of that. Now, you should do all of that anyways for true technical analysis, to be educated, to not be, lazy, a lazy trader and be gambling. But this recipe definitely will give a huge advantage over the standard way of charting. Of course, you definitely would want to do those things, but an extreme complement. Let's put it that way. The bread recipe is an extreme complement to the standard technical analysis charting that you can be doing. So that's it. I mean, this is my play I did today without it, and then I explained how it would have helped with it. And man, it would have made my life when it was red in here. I had a few, probably 15, 20 minutes where I was down like $60. I was really nearing my 25% stop loss, and I would have felt much more comfortable with the recipe, being like, hey, calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's great. Just you got to give it time to cook. So it would have been nice to have that this morning during that play. So now that I do, and you could too, this is definitely going to be a game changer. So I don't know the pricing yet. I'm not going to say it. I think we've discussed pricing for the new tier, but that's all up to Mo and Mrs. Mo. I'm here just to show you what this looks like, and we can zoom out real quick so you can see more of a broad scale. What would this look like in a larger term? So if we go to I don't know here, let's see. Let's do 4-hour time frame. How would it look in a large time frame? So I showed you a 5 and 15 minute. How would it look in a farther out time frame? Well, here you go. We're at 4-hour time frame. So this is all of February. So if you were to go out farther for your long-term holds or charting, you could see that if you're one of those that don't really care about the in-betweens, if you're holding leaps, whatever, very long-term puts or calls, this is a full-on bearish movement all the way from the end of January. And this right here, this large square and the 513 cross under would have signified opening a potential put here and holding. We're opening one here and holding. Now, granted, it's always easier to look at these after the fact, right? But you can use this on a short time frame and a long time frame. When Mo does his live trading, he uses it on a 1 minute, and it works wonderfully. Now, is this going to provide 100% guarantee? No, none of this is. It's all going to be guidelines and even technical analysis. They don't always work the way you want them to work. But will this help? Of course. Way down here, the beginning of February, we start having this turnaround. We could drop it to the 1 hour and see how that did. They go back over. There it is, 5 crossing the 13. You hop in here. You could have held calls all the way from 396, 90, let's go 397. You could have held that with more confidence all the way up, really, as far as you wanted. Obviously, we could have taken it at 414. That is a wonderful run. And all of this would have been in the recipe to kind of help give you some guidance. All right, I can go on and on and talk more and more about this as we're 13 minutes in, and I don't really need to say much more. This gives you the Bollinger Bands. It gives you the EMAs, the important ones. It gives you the volumes. And if you're paying for TradingView, of course, you can add tons of indicators on top of this, as I did with my earlier play here with the long box and the orb line. You can add more things to it, overlay, his template. So that's it. That's the breadbot recipe, guys. So earner tier plus, at the very least, you need to give this a shot and see how well it will benefit your trading P&L. Because I tell you what, I'm super excited for the market to open tomorrow and give this a live shot. Because, like I said, I feel so honored to be the first one to be able to use this in the inner circle, per se, at this point. And thank you for everybody for listening, watching. I hope this is exactly what you're looking for and expecting the breadbot to be. Is I tell you what, this thing is going to be incredible. I'm just playing around with this now at this point. Yeah. This is just Tesla. We can go into SPY. We can do a whole bunch of stuff. I might as well just do it at this point. Let's just, go. I'm going to have a link put up somewhere. Get in there, earner tier plus, get in there, and, let us know how it goes. Obviously, give feedback if things aren't working when you're live. Let us know. But so far, so good. I love it. And so, yeah, I'm just working some SPY here, SPY. If y'all need to go, that's fine. I understand. But if you want to kind of stay here and take a gander with me, that's fine too. Let's see. Today was kind of a, was it today? SPY wasn't doing much. I didn't do much with SPY. I did Tesla today. So really it doesn't show much in the 30. Let's see. That's after hours. So here's a short time frame, 5 minute opening right here. Yeah, see, this one's hard. SPY didn't do much today. It wasn't very volatile, so this is going to be a little wonky. Yeah, this one's hard to do. Let's go out to like a fun day where it was really crazy. Yesterday? Yeah, look at that. Okay, this is perfect. All right, so Wednesday. Wednesday, 5 minutes. So we open down here, and right away you get a sign, Bollinger Band oversold. So that means the chances of it probably bouncing higher is likely, not guaranteed. And it did. Kind of bounced around here. The EMAs are starting to fly up. EMA RSI bullish, 5 crossing 13. That's your sign for a bullish movement. It starts flying. We get the nice, this is a bigger, yes, because here's a small square, here's a bigger square. So we get that bigger square, flies up. So we've gone from 684 to 680, almost 688 before your first indicator of a bearish movement. And as Mo always says, now he uses farther out time frames for this, but this holds true here. A double crust. So we hit the Bollinger Band once, twice, and then we didn't hit it again. We didn't move any more bullish at that point. So usually when you cross the Bollinger Band twice, it generally has either a pullback or it just stalls out and then chops for a bit to consolidate before it does something else. And that's what you see right here. So kind of, flat, waits for EMAs to catch up, waits for some volume to consolidate. It does a little warning for a dip, kind of chop, chop, chop. But then of course here, you see the Bollinger Band tight and start to spread, the white bands here. And at this point, we have the 5 crossing 13. Yes, it crossed here, but you can almost tell it was just a false indicator. Volumes are super low. Candles are almost even. It's not doing much. Could it have run here? Sure. But again, low volume. 5 crossing the 13, we have much more of a steeper motion. Volume's picking up. And that's when it came all the way back down from, we'll do 688. And the indicators would have told you all the way down to roughly 684. So a $4 drop right there. So you could have ran this baby up and then ran it right back down, and this bread bot recipe would have entirely helped hold your hand all the way through it. 13 crossing 50 underneath shows a dive. Oversold, so that's a little cautionary, like hey, might be, but it failed. Now, just like with the upper double crust right here, we also have this over here, oversold Bollinger Band. So it came down the other way, not wrong way, the other way. So hitting twice, it's potential to have the same movement, more sideways action, where it did slightly, but we had a lot of selling pressure and it sold off again. Here, it started to change over. Now, I bet you if you move out a time frame or two, there will be an X here that says something about an alert moving up. It's over here, but I bet you it would be more like over here if you went to like a 15 or 30-minute time frame. Either way, using MACD, using RSI, using the charts, as you see it, the candle starting to change here. We have a hammer here. It starts to move up. And right here, you have another opportunity for a call, or at least a really quick 1 DTE, because at this point, we were already past the closure of 0 DTE calls or options. But you could have done a 1 DTE, but planned to close at 2 o'clock, or sorry, 2 o'clock here, 4 o'clock, 4:15 for SPY in East Coast. So you could have jumped in at 485-ish and ran it all the way to 487 again. So there's another little move. So this would have helped show you the whole time what you could have done. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. 20 minutes. I hope this is enough. It's. Let me know in the chats if this thing goes live. I'm not even sure if this video is going to be used. But if this is in the Discord and you want to see more before Mo's ready for it to go live, before the tiers opened, let me know. I can do another quick video, 2-3 minutes of something more specific you want to see, and go from there. But man, this is going to be so unique and so incredible. Things that others out there would have to create this and know how to do this. You're getting this on a very easy access, just turnkey point of charting. All right. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the Discord.